Hi friends, in the last session we discussed that by using composition versus aggregation, right? In the last session we observed the difference between composition versus aggregation. So first let me analyze the previous session one time, and next I will go for today concept is the types of inheritance. Okay, types of inheritance. Friends, if you are watching my channel for the first time, please subscribe to my channel, and it gives me more encouragement for next videos in logical or technical wise, theory wise, everything. Okay, please subscribe to my channel. Okay, so observe here composition versus aggregation. Okay, difference between composition versus aggregation. Without existence of container object, okay, without existence of container object, if there is no chance of existence of a contained object. If there is no chance of existence of contained objects, then container and contained objects are said to be strongly associated. A container and contained objects are said to be strongly associated. Then this strong association is known as composition. Okay, university has several departments. Okay, university has several departments. Without existence of university, there is no chance of existing departments. So we can say this one as a strong association or composition. In the same way, for coming to aggregation, without existence of container object, there is a chance of existence of contained object. Okay, without existence of container object, there is a chance of existing contained object. Okay, so container and contained objects are said to be weakly associated. This weak association is nothing but aggregation. Department and several professor. Okay, without existence of department object, there will be a chance of existence of professor also. There is chance of existence of a professor also. So hence a professor and department are weakly associated. Okay, weakly associated, which is nothing but what? Aggregation. Which is nothing but what? Aggregation. Okay, so this is what we discussed, and with respect to program, right? So now today we are going to discuss about what? Types of inheritance. Types of inheritance. So with respect to the above program, I want to add one more point. Okay, I want to add one more point. What is that means? In the above example, okay, if you observe in the above example, in the above example, okay, in the above example, whenever we are creating child class object, okay, whenever we are creating child class object, okay, whenever we are creating child class object, both the parent and child class constructor executed to perform initialization of a child class object. Okay, whenever we are creating child class object, both parent class and the child class constructor got executed. Okay, both the parent class and the child class constructor got executed to perform to initialize the child class object. Okay, in the above example, whenever, okay, whenever creating we are creating child class object. A child class object, both parent and child class. Okay, both parent and child class object, child class constructor got executed, okay, got executed to perform initialization. Okay, to perform initialization of a child class object, to perform initialization of a to perform initialization of child class object. Clear? To perform initialization of child class object. Clear? So this is nothing but what? This is nothing but what? With respect to above program theory, right? So now today we are going to discuss about the types of inheritance. The types of inheritance. Types of inheritance. The types of inheritance. So any programming language, types of inheritance concept is the normal and the recommended and important concept. Okay, normal and a recommended concept in every programming language. Okay, so here also there are types of inheritance. Okay, so first one is a single inheritance. A inheritance. Single inheritance. Second is a multi-level inheritance. Okay, multi-level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance. Okay, next hierarchical. Okay, hierarchical inheritance. Hierarchical inheritance. Next, fourth one, multiple inheritance. Okay, multiple inheritance. Okay, multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance. Next, hybrid inheritance. Okay, hybrid inheritance. Hybrid inheritance. Next, sixth one, cyclic inheritance. Cyclic inheritance. Cyclic inheritance. Cyclic inheritance. Right. So these types of inheritance we have to discuss now as part of types of inheritance concept. Okay. So observe here. Okay, observe here. So first coming to the first inheritance is a single inheritance. Okay, first one is nothing but what? Single inheritance. Okay, so single inheritance is nothing but what? So single inheritance concept is nothing but the concept of inheriting the properties from one class to another class. Okay, the concept of inheriting the properties. Okay, the concept of, okay, the concept the concept of inheriting the concept of inheriting the properties. Okay, the concept of inheriting the properties from one class. Okay, one class to another class. Okay, the concept of inheriting the properties from one class to another class is known as, a single inheritance. Single inheritance. The concept of inheriting the properties from one class to another class is known as a single inheritance. Okay, if we observe the diagram, okay, if we observe the diagram, how it will be observed. So if you think this is a parent class, now we can consider this one as a child class. Okay, so diagram will be like this. Okay, so we can say so this one is a parent. Okay, this one is a parent. Parent, and this one is a child. A parent and a child. So this one we can call it as what? This one we can call it as what? Single inheritance. Okay, single inheritance. Single inheritance. Okay, single inheritance. A single inheritance. Single inheritance. So how the program will be is observe. Right, let's write one small program with respect to single inheritance. So observe with respect to single inheritance. I'm taking one parent class. Okay, I'm taking parent class. And the M1 method. Okay, instance method M1. Next here what I'm taking, print parent method. Okay, print parent method. Okay, print parent method. Next class child. Okay, child class extends parent. Here I'm taking m2 method. So this is also instance method. So this is also what the instance method. Print child method. Okay, print what child method. Child method. Child method. So observe here. Now I'm creating child class object. Okay, child class object I'm creating. So on child class object reference, I'm executing parent instance method and child instance method. Okay, observe here parent method and child method. Okay, what is that? Parent method and child method. Clear? Parent method and child method. This is nothing but what a single inheritance. There is nothing but what a single inheritance. So single inheritance is nothing but the concept of inheriting the properties from one class to another class. Okay, one class to another class is nothing but what a single inheritance. Okay, single inheritance. Clear? Next, second one is a multi-level inheritance. Okay, next one is what? Multi-level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance. The concept. So multi-level inheritance means the concept of inheriting. The concept of inheriting the properties. Okay, properties from multiple. Okay, multiple classes to single class. Multiple classes to single class. Single class. Single class with the single class with the concept of another of concept of one after another. Okay, the concept of inheriting the properties from multiple class into single class with the concept of one after with concept of one after another. Okay, one after another. Okay, one after another is known as a multi-level inheritance. Okay, multi-level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance. Right? So this is nothing but what? Multi-level inheritance. Okay, multi-level inheritance. Right? This is nothing but what? Multi-level inheritance. Clear? So now observe here with respect to multi-level inheritance. I'm taking one parent class. Okay, I'm taking one child class. Same thing I'm taking with respect to parent class. How I am taken. So just observe the first diagrammatic. Then I will explain. Then I will explain with respect to diagrammatic. Okay. Just here the same thing. Okay. Here the same thing. Okay. So observe here the same example, but multi-level inheritance means multi-level inheritance. Just observe carefully. This one is nothing but what? Multi-level inheritance. Okay, multi-level inheritance. So okay, how we can define multi-level inheritance means here already parent child is there. Okay, so I'm taking one more here. Okay, I'm taking one more here child. I'm taking here one more what? Child. I'm taking here one more what? Child. Here I'm taking one more what? Child. So this one we can call it as a multi-level inheritance. Okay, this one we can call it as a multi-level inheritance. Clear? Child to child, next from here to child to parent, child to parent. This one we can call it as a multi-level inheritance. Okay, multi-level inheritance. Clear? Clear, right? So this is nothing but what multi-level inheritance. So observe the programmatic wise. I've taken class parent one instance method in the parent class. In the child class also the same. Extra here what I'm doing means another child class. Okay, I'm another child class extending first child class. Okay, another child class extending concrete child class, extending child class. Okay, so now I'm extending here. I'm taking one more instance method. Okay, here I'm taking one more instance method. Print. Okay, print what? Print what? Subchild method. Print subchild method. Okay, print subchild method. Print subchild method. C is equal to I'm creating object for last child class. Okay, I'm creating object for last child class. I'm creating object for last child class. So by using that, what I'm doing, I'm calling instance method from all classes. Okay, I'm creating object for, I'm creating instance, I'm calling instance method from all classes. Okay, all classes. C dot M3, C dot M3, right? So now observe the output. Parent method, child method, and a subchild method. A parent method, child method, and a subchild method. Parent method, child method, and a subchild method. Clear? This is nothing but what? Multi-level inheritance. Okay, this is nothing but what? Multi-level inheritance. Clear? So next. Okay, next concept is what? Okay, next concept is what? Next concept is what? Hierarchical inheritance. Okay, next one is what? Hierarchical. Okay, hierarchical inheritance. Hierarchical inheritance. Hierarchical inheritance is nothing but what? The concept of inheriting properties from one class into multiple class. Okay, the concept of the concept of inheriting the concept of inheriting the properties. Okay, properties. The concept of inheriting the properties from one class into multiple class. Into multiple class. The concept of inheriting the properties from one class into multiple class. Okay, one class into multiple class which are present at the same level. Okay, multiple class which are present at the same level. Which are present at the same level. Which are present at the same level is known as is known as a hierarchical inheritance. Hierarchical inheritance. Okay, hierarchical inheritance. The concept of inheriting the properties from one class into multiple class which are present at the same level is known as a hierarchical inheritance. Okay, observe here with respect to this diagram. Okay, observe with respect to this diagram. Let me take a new point. Okay, so observe here. I'm taking. Okay, I'm taking parent. Here I'm taking child. Okay, here I'm taking child. Parent and child. Parent and child. Here I'm taking parent. Okay, here I'm taking parent. Here I'm taking. Okay, here I'm taking. Here I'm taking child one. Here I'm taking child one. child 2. Okay, child 1 and child 2. Okay, now observe here. Now observe here. So this one we can call it as a multi-level inheritance. Okay, this one we can call it as hierarchical inheritance. Hierarchical inheritance. Okay, hierarchical inheritance. So hierarchical inheritance is means what? The concept of inheriting the properties from one class into multiple class which are present at the same level. Okay, which are present at the same level is known as a hierarchical inheritance. Okay, the concept of inheriting the properties. If you observe here, the concept of inheriting. Okay, the concept of inheriting properties from one class to multiple class. Okay, one class to multiple class into multiple class which are present at the same level is known as a hierarchical inheritance. Okay, hierarchical inheritance. Clear? This is nothing but what? A hierarchical inheritance. Okay. So with respect to that, observe a small program. Okay, observe a small program. So instance method. Okay. Parent, I'm taking one instance method anyway. Okay, parent, I'm taking one instance method. Child 1, I'm taking one instance method. Okay, child 1, I'm taking one instance method. Child 3, I'm taking another instance method M3. Okay, so here child 1, okay, here child 1, and here child 2. Okay, child 1 and child 2, right? Child 1 and child 2. Clear, right? So now observe here. Now observe here. First, I'm creating child class. First child class object. Okay, I'm creating first child class object. Okay, creating first child class object. Whenever I'm creating child class object, okay, whenever I'm creating child class object, whenever I'm creating child class object, so by using this we can access a parent class instance method and that child class instance method. So we can call c is equal to c1 means c dot m1 comma c dot m2. Okay, c dot m1 comma c dot m2, right? So next, okay, next point, I'm creating object for c3. Okay, I'm creating object for c3. Okay, I'm creating object for c3. So whenever I'm creating object for c3, here c dot m1, okay, c dot m1 comma c dot m3, okay, c dot m1 comma c dot m3. Clear? C dot m1 comma c dot m3. Okay, whenever I'm creating object for c3 object, so we can call this parent instance method and this instance method, parent method and child method one. Okay, observe the output here. Parent child 1 method, parent child 2 method. So parent child 1 method, parent child 2 method. So this is nothing but what? Hierarchical inheritance. Okay, this is nothing but what? Hierarchical inheritance. Clear, right? Observe one more time. Hierarchical inheritance means the concept of, okay, the concept of inheriting the properties. Okay, the concept of inheriting the properties from one class into multiple class which are present at the same level. Okay, which are present at the same level is known as a hierarchical inheritance. With respect to programming, this is the program. Parent class instance method, child class instance method. Child class extending parent class. Another child class I'm taking, that class also extending parent class. Okay, so in by using this parent one class into multiple class which are present at the same level is known as a hierarchical inheritance. Okay, known as a hierarchical inheritance. Clear, right? So if you are having any questions or queries, please post your query in the comment section or reach out to my email id in the given description, right? So with respect to logical wise or any programming wise, any questions, please reach out to my email ID also. I will give reply to your queries. Okay, friends, but please subscribe to my channel if you are watching my channel for the first time. Thank you, friends. Thanks for watching this video.